All right, we are going. Let's see. Let's see how much these babies have grown. Oh my gosh!
And they have, see the eyes are open?
Oh, our connection is weak. I'm a little worried I might have to start over again. Welcome everybody to our Squirrel Thursday feeding of these tiny babies that came in just a few weeks ago as itty bitty pink guys. And I cannot believe how much they've grown. Oh my gosh, I can't believe they even have their eyes open. Look at that. So cute.
And the color, aren't they great?
They are. They're some of the prettiest little squirrels I've ever seen. I love that little black cap they have on their heads.
Yeah, I love it. It's a peach belly.
It is a peach belly. Oh, these are little fox squirrels, of course. I was remembering how,
Yes.
how red they are. Exactly.
So they...
All right. So these little babies came into WildCare as little tiny pink orphans. Rachel, their foster care mom, has been taking excellent care of them in the intervening weeks.
Okay.
All right. He's like, WildCare, what's that?
I don't, that's not food.
What's that?
Of course, I drip on it.
Of course, no problem.
Their formula has to be warm or they don't like it.
Right.
Now that's your wife. Now eating that.
There we go. Oh, no, not
So
yet.
their eyes kind of opened, and then they decided it was too early, or they didn't like what they saw.
I didn't like what they saw. Of course they did. They saw you.
Well, they saw the world. Now, one of them, pardon me, its eyes are wide open, and the other two looked like they were opening, and perhaps not. So they're a little behind. They're a day behind. Okay, come on, honey.
Have they been pretty good eaters for the most part?
Yeah. The syringes are a little big for me right now. I think I prefer smaller ones.
Aww. So again, these are fox squirrels. You can tell by the really bright reddish tone that they have, including that little peach-colored belly. And we didn't know what species of squirrel they were when we first got them in because they were so tiny. If you scroll down our Facebook feed, you can see the various videos over the last couple of weeks. And the very, very first one is when they first came in, and they were unidentifiable. They were so...
They were just pinkies. There was pink skin.
Yep.
Not red, not gray, not black, just pink skin and black fingernails.
Yep. Yeah, I always find it fascinating that they're born with those interesting black fingernails. They have those from the very, very beginning.
And then they start, their skin actually starts darkening down, and they get the fur, and these guys started getting all the rust colors.
Yeah, I find it interesting that the pigment changes on the skin before the fur actually comes through.
Yeah, yeah. So it was sort of a hint. Something was going on. They were not what we thought they were.
We thought they were eastern gray squirrels based on their very eager attitudes.
And they're still very vocal.
Are they? Yeah.
They are. They're little, they call every once in a while. I hear them, and it kind of makes me worried. I run in to see if something's wrong, and it's just one deciding to call.
Do a bit of yelling?
Squeak, yeah.
Kind of messy eaters.
Yeah.
If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask them.
And these reds are very smart. I believe their eyes open a little before the grays.
Oh, that's interesting.
And which is what sort of benefits them over a gray squirrel. But
right.
They also become very independent quickly.
Interesting. That is definitely a good survival mechanism.
Yeah.
The faster you can be independent and not rely on mom for everything, the better you're going to survive. Well, it's so fun to see these guys thriving so much in your care, Rachel.
They are thriving on their own because they are strong and want to be healthy and free. And they look great. And this is the little one that had all the bruising.
I remember all the bruising. Again, if you scroll down WildCare's Facebook feed, you can see the earlier photos. And when they came in, they just looked awful. They'd fallen from their nest and had ended up with some injuries, and they were just so tiny. We can often reunite baby squirrels if they fall out of their nest. It's very often that we can reunite them, and I don't think we tried to reunite with these guys, did we?
The tree was cut down.
The tree was cut down, that's right.
Maybe because he was definitely injured. He was bruised all over, and he did end up losing a toe. He looked like he was going to lose more than just a toe. He looked like his foot was really damaged, but just lost a toe, and the bruising went away. But so no, he was not. They were not reunited.
Yeah.
And they were at the bare minimum of survival size.
Yeah. In foster care.
Yeah.
And look how well we did.
You gonna do it all there, bud? Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna be wearing it. He's wearing
Yep.
it. Hey.
I wanted to scroll over here and show the other two rolling around in their enclosure here. Oh, we've discovered watermelon. One of the most important things that we do at WildCare when we raise our foster care babies, there's a couple of things that we do. The first is that we never raise a baby alone. So these animals are being raised to be released back to the wild as soon as they're old enough and ready to go. And one of the important things about being releasable is that you have to recognize what kind of animal you are. And so these guys are always raised with other members of their own species. These babies were lucky that they came in with 3 of their own species. But we always raise them with members of their own species, and then we do as little with them as possible. Obviously, when they're babies like this, we have to do more work with them. I mean, Rachel's been feeding them. You started out feeding them about every 2 hours, right?
Yeah, and it's now up to 4 and not overnight.
So they go for every 4 hours. So there's a lot of interaction. But as they get older, we slowly reduce the amount of interaction that we have with them. So they spend most of their time in the company of their fellow squirrels. And we do everything we can to introduce them to the foods that they will find in the wild. And some others that they may not. Watermelon looks like it's a choice for today, but we'll introduce them as they get older to the various kinds of nuts they'll encounter. We'll find various fruits for them that they'll encounter, and just give them a good sampling of all of the things that they'll find in the wild. And I find it so funny that the squirrels they have preferences. Like some baby squirrels love avocado, and some
Yes.
baby squirrels don't like it at all.
Yes, and it's just a different group.
Yeah.
You know, like you said, some love, and avocado is such a tasty thing for them, and,
Right?
and some of them love it, and others won't eat it, and same with watermelon. But it's a good thing to give them. Watermelon is a good thing to put in there. They don't end up wearing all of it as they're swimming in it.
But they end up green with the avocado.
Yeah. But they gives them just a taste of solid food.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they start eating more and more solid food, and we wean them off the formula. And then they get to a point where they're only eating solid foods, of course. And once they get to the point where they can actually crack their nuts, then we know that they are ready to be released. That's one of the ways that we know that they're ready to go.
And they're sucking a lot on their own.
Mm-hmm. I know, I love it when you get to a point where they just suck it down.
Yeah, and you really have to hold the plungers.
Yeah,
about it.
You actually have to slow them down.
Yeah. So and then they're taking in. You try and slow them down, but they take in more of what they want.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with it. They're just starting to learn it.
Look at those whiskers. Such a handsome little fellow. And they do reach out and hold on to the syringe like that.
Yep. That's sort of new. I don't think they were even doing it
Oh,
last
really?
week,
That's a
where
coordination thing, yeah.
It's kind of like babies. When babies start learning just little steps at a time.
Yeah. And they get more agile. They're able to climb more.
Yes, and then I'll have to put them into, you know, they'll change the containers that they're enclosures.
Yeah.
As they get bigger and develop more skills.
Yeah, that's actually something that Melanie and I were talking about doing on a live stream so everybody could see the first time that these babies go from their little tiny cage into a bigger cage. Because, oh my gosh, it's such a moment. They're completely flabbergasted and they run around and they just don't even know what to think. It's really, really quite charming. So we'll try to do that for everybody.
Oh, they're going to have so much fun. Can't wait to see it.
And then they'll graduate from a big wire cage up until and then we'll eventually put them into a large outdoor enclosure where they will, that's where they spend their last few weeks before they're ready for release. They are good eaters, aren't they?
Yes, they are. You're not ready? Just a little tiny on the bottom. I think that's pretty good.
Here, these little guys. I'm glad you can tell them apart, Rachel. I sure can't.
Well, I did have on the two little females, I had a little dot on its butt.
Oh, I bet. Yeah. Oh, and here's one. He's got his eyes almost completely open. Look at that.
Yeah.
They're still so wobbly and funny.
Oh, they cannot get around very well. They just sort of nose.
Yep.
Use their nose and push.
Yep, exactly. Look at the little shoulder blades.
Wrinkles. They
Yep.
have their wrinkles.
Their little wrinkles, yep.
Okay, so you've been fed, right? Look at the chubby tummies. That doesn't look like a fed baby.
No.
That's a sleepy.
That's a sleepy full baby. Yes, exactly. And this little one, oh, look at that
eyes.
face with those eyes wide open. Oh my goodness. That's a handsome squirrel. That's what that is.
I was kind of hoping to see that one-eyed, the drunk.
The drunken pirate look, yes.
Yes, and it's staggering.
That's my favorite thing in squirrels. When their eyes first start opening at 4 weeks, sometimes only one eye will open at a time, and so the baby will look like a drunken pirate staggering around in his little enclosure. It's so incredibly cute.
And of course, these fox squirrels, she just decided, now I'm going to do it my way.
Yeah.
Both eyes are opening at the same time before her brother and sister.
Just such an amazing thing. It's a good way to age how old a young squirrel is. If the eyes are open, you know they're about 4 weeks old.
That definitely is.
Yeah.
It's a milestone I write down on their charts.
Yep.
You can base everything off of that. They just do not open early. The others are a little bit late because they should have all, they were all born on the same day, but
right.
It just lets you know right where they age-wise.
Yeah, that's great. When they first come in, they're always a little unsure about the formula because I'm sure it tastes absolutely nothing like their squirrel mom's milk. But they quickly get to a point where they are very, very excited about the formula. And they're just ready to suck it right down. Have you tried the bigger nipples on them?
The longer one?
Just the wider one.
Oh, I haven't tried the wider one. I've tried the longer. I have another squirrel with an injury to its mouth.
And the longer nipple is better for him.
I was trying that one on him, and he doesn't like it. No one does.
So really?
I went back to this, and she's still, this is the one that eyes are open. She is just a little independent. So her eyes are open first, and
little independent miss.
She's a little harder to feed.
Yeah, she wants to be exploring. She says, I can see the world now.
I'm going places.
I'm going places. I'm going to go be a squirrel. I can't believe how glossy and healthy they look, Rachel. You've done such a good job raising them.
It is all them and using the right formula. Here, let's take that off you. No mustache. And she's grasping everything. She's holding on with those claws.
Well, that's what squirrels do.
That's survival.
It is. Absolutely.
Right. Oh, milk in the nose. Nasty. Yeah, but when she comes in next week, then they should have fur everywhere.
Yep, they'll be fully furred next week. So I think we're going to continue with our trend of Squirrel Thursday. I was expecting to have these guys fed at 2, but as they start eating less frequently, they end up, their schedule changes, of course. So thanks to everyone for tuning in at 1 for our squirrel feeding. Fortunately.
I think they'd love to be fed at 2 also.
I suspect they would enjoy that. Yes, exactly. Exactly.
Look at that, wearing milk everywhere.
Yeah, that's all right.
Just a tiny, tiny bit more. So yeah, I've been weighing them every day and changing their diet, their intake as they gain weight.
Excellent.
And they're extremely fragile, so it may look like I'm squeezing them or pushing them around a lot, but really they're just so fragile.
They are.
It's just
amazing that they managed to survive and grow up to be crazy adult wild squirrels.
Just that last little bit.
There we go. Last little bit. So again, these are babies at WildCare that are being cared with us for about 3 months total.
These ones?
Yeah.
I think it's a month, but there's been 3 of them, so it hasn't. No.
Yeah, because their eyes open at 4 weeks, so that's 1 month, and then they'll be with us. It's about 2.5 months.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I thought you said how long will they be with us?
Yeah. There we go. All right. Well, we're look at that belly. There we go.
Look at the belly and look at that face.
Look at that face. All right, everybody. Thanks for joining us, and we'll be back here next Thursday. Hopefully, I can give you a little more warning. And enjoy your Squirrel Thursday. Bye.